you doing?
Hey, Vinny.
Hey,
How's
sir.
it going, man?
Very good. How are you?
Awesome. Awesome.
Jimmy is the guy that carries us in now, so he'll do an intro, and then we can just kind of start shooting the shit and see what's going on.
Hey, no problem. I'm here to shoot the shit for as long as you need me to do that.
I feel like every week I've been calling people weirdos, and now I feel bad about it. Good evening, you sexy motherfuckers, and Lisa. It's another edition of Livin' CRUDDY. I'm your host, Handsome Jimmy, joined as always by Gino McCoffinberry Royd, Sexy Vinny, and our guest for the second time. It's a twofer. He's back again. Ladies and gentlemen, the future governor of Florida, Loud!
That's a good one.
That's a vote I could make. I could stand behind that.
It would be interesting. We'll say that.
I think you should run, man. The last time you were here, Loud, we ran that episode probably, what do you think, Vinny? Probably like 7 or 8 times, and it's easily the most requested episode that we've run.
It's fun. Yeah.
No. And we have a small group of people, it doesn't like filter in and out on the thing that we do.
I had a lot of fun. You guys are a lot of fun. I enjoyed it very much.
Well, it was a wild episode. That's cool. We watched it again recently, too.
I'm trying to remember if Loud said anything about Tampa, Ybor City. You've been there, of course, right?
Yes, those stories will remain closed.
So, have you been there recently, like the last 10 years?
No,
okay.
I have not.
I wonder if you've ever been to the Castle.
No.
Big goth club that's there. It's amazing.
We used to play Ybor years ago when I was in the Roids, and there's a place there called the Harbor Club, which was kind of like a weird half biker, half rock and roll thing. We played some crazy shows. That was where the G.G. Allen incident went down.
Oh.
Oh boy. Here we go.
We don't need to revisit that, but that was
An
where
infamous figure.
let me guess. There's feces involved.
Oh, there was definitely feces involved. Feces and blood and all kind of disgusting shit. That was not the only time that he played that place. Another time after we played. It always seems like if you mention the name Ybor City, people have some kind of story involved. Like, oh, Ybor City, let me tell you about this thing that happened. There's always some kind of crazy
Well,
shit.
did you ever hear the story about Alex Lifeson from Rush?
That's Jimmy's favorite band,
I fucking hate Rush. But that's okay. I will like it, Alex.
Well, apparently he owns a house over in that area, and he and his son went to some bar over there. Apparently, some guy jumped in his son's face, about who knows what over a drink, and his son's probably not that much of a fighter, is the impression I've gotten. He's kind of a little guy, and so Alex basically walked over to the guy and said something to him, basically saying back off. The guy took a swing at him, and the next thing you know, Alex beat the crap out of the guy and started a barroom brawl where he was the only guy standing. The cops came and busted him because he beat up like 10 or 12 people.
No chance.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I didn't know that was in Ybor.
Yeah, that's where
a
that
couple
was.
years ago, like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You gotta be an urban legend, right?
Ybor has a lot of people that like to dress up and do crazy things now. You've got the Peter Pan guy dressed up as Peter Pan. Well, he was on all the talk shows, and he's a really nice guy. His wife's name is Wendy.
Oh my God.
And then was he a club kid?
Yeah.
Okay,
But he's like 50 something now. So
God forbid.
We also have the shoe licker. If you're sitting outside on a bench talking to people, and a guy will sit down in front of you and start talking to you, and like, hey, those are really nice shoes. Oh, thanks. Hey, can I take a look at them? You're expecting to show him your shoe. No, he'll pick up the bottom of your shoe and start licking it.
Oh.
Yes, the shoe licker.
That's where COVID came from.
That in Jimmy's house.
Yeah, you've got the guy that dresses as Batman that rides his motorcycle up and down Ybor, and he gets a ticket every single night, but he'll still do it. The guy dressed as a Pokemon walks around for no reason. So yeah, it's great. And then you go to Castle, and there's all the vampires.
Right.
Ybor's great. I spent 2 years in Tampa. It was great, fantastic.
Kind of reminds me of like around here we have the Wellington Witch.
Oh, I never heard of that.
You didn't know about? Okay, apparently
I've been here in a while.
Well, she passed away not too long ago, but you can look her up. Apparently, she was an actress out in Hollywood, and she did the same thing, but she would like wear these heels, like these 14-inch heels, dress very, very gothic, like the whole dark thing, and she would just walk across the streets, and everybody knew her. Wellington Witch. They'd see her walking in, walking out, and she was very eccentric. I saw her one time. I thought I was hallucinating.
Sorry. Gene, can I get screen sharing, please?
Hang on. Does this work again?
Oh, it's a button. Press a button.
There you go. It looks like she got a giant scrotum on her head, right?
Yeah, there you go. Ah, there you go.
Awesome.
Hey, how we do that?
Wellington Witch.
Can I zoom her? Oh, is that working? Wow. Let's just
That's
go back.
something.
Let's go
But
back.
apparently she did the same thing when she lived out in California, kind of created this whole mythology about herself. So fascinating.
All right, you got to go to the other picture. Susan Strauss. That name sounds familiar. Susan Strauss, where she's running the hose.
Yeah. This one?
Oh my God.
Wow.
All righty then.
That is.
A puppet.
Wow.
Who knew?
That's
There
a
she
cool
is.
There she is.
Yeah, she
That's
looks-
exactly how you'd see her walking around town too, dressed in that very same outfit all the time.
When did you start hearing about her?
Oh man, easily 15 years ago.
Okay, so I would have been gone already then.
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
heard about that.
Yeah.
I remember Zsa Zsa Gabor used to live out there. It's all kind of weird, eclectic old women living in Wellington.
Yep. Springsteen lives there now.
Oh, he
has
does?
a home out there. Yep. And from Stray Cats, guitar player.
Oh, Brian Setzer?
That's her.
We have some friends that play in his side band.
Oh, I like Setzer. He's a great player.
Oh, he's a killer guitar player. I met him probably 20 years ago in Las Vegas waiting for a taxi, waiting in the car right behind me. And
Oh,
a
wow.
guy showed him a picture of the guitar that I have, that it's a Brian Setzer, a signature Gretsch. And he was like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah, but
I know it's not a very exciting story, but
no, it's very exciting.
Would have
I
been better if
found
he
it-
was like, fuck you, Gene.
I found it quite refreshing.
In these dark times, that's a lovely story.
It is lovely indeed, indeed. Unless there were other stories you'd like to tell us about Vegas.
oh, well,
I've
I'm
never
trying to
been
block
there.
that out of my mind. It's been a long time since I've been out there.
I have never been there.
Really?
Never, not once.
Me neither.
You're better
my,
off.
My wife has been there, but I've never been there. And then I had a buddy that went out there, promptly got murdered out there. So
Sounds like Vegas.
what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Okay.
I used to, for work, I used to go out there 2 or 3 times a year, and it's the worst place to work a trade show because there's literally no convention hall that you don't have to walk 6 miles to get to.
Oh
Where you
wow.
have to- it was horrible. Yeah, I dreaded it. And I don't mind going out there to travel out into the desert. There's some cool stuff to see nearby, but the Las Vegas scene is hectic. Well, you think West Palm Beach changes every 5 months. Vegas is like, if you leave for 3 weeks to come back, you don't recognize anything. It's just crazy.
I'd love to see it though. I really would. I think it would be kind of cool. Just blow through one time.
Well, they tore down the joint, or the Hard Rock, didn't they, Jimmy?
Oh really?
Yeah, that's gone now. Now it's a
I haven't been in years.
they had a rock and roll type casino, and then they had that place, the joint, that was like you go do the casino and then go off and see some cool live bands. And
I do have one great story from Vegas
Okay.
that I rarely tell. So stop me if you've heard this one.
I've heard it.
I was working for a company. We had our annual show out there, and we were staying at the Four Seasons, which is part of the Mirage, the top
Top floor.
12
yeah.
floors of the Mirage or whatever. And I get on the elevator and I go down a floor. I'm going all the way down, and the elevator stops, opens up, and this super hot girl and a little dude, little boy, and Jamie Foxx get on the elevator. And we're riding the elevator down. He turns to me and says, do you know if we can order food at the pool? Now I'm in a full suit because I'm going to a mortgage bankers convention. And I said, you know, everybody in a suit, you can't just assume they work at the Four Seasons. And he started laughing. And I said, I'm just kidding.
That was the hotel that I ran into Brian Setzer
I
at.
think it might be funnier if it had been Jamie Farr. That's all I got.
And if I had been in drag, then it would have been super hilarious.
I was there with Boomer, and we went and got in the elevator, and we were heading up to the, I forget, it was the Mirage or something. And Boomer's looking at me, he's like, who's that guy in the elevator? Like just kind of mouthing it. And then it dawned on me that the dude was John Wayne Bobbitt.
Oh,
The
wow.
guy that got his junk cut off. So
Oh,
I look
wow.
over at him, I'm like, hey, aren't you John Wayne Bobbitt? He's like, yeah. We get off the elevator and go in the other room, and there's Ron Jeremy. And
Brown paper bag.
He may have.
No, you know he travels with one. That's a big deal with
Yes.
him. I saw him at a Kiss show, and where I'm not making this up. I saw him at a Kiss show right here in West Palm. The first thing I said to him, I'm like, "Dude, where's your brown paper bag?" And he goes, "Right here."
What's in the brown paper bag?
He carries all of his personal belongings, which isn't much. So I guess it's whatever tools he needs for whatever chick he meets. I mean, I don't know.
Not anymore, apparently.
Yeah, seriously. Wow.
I was out in Hollywood with Pignato, and they were filming that movie Night at the Roxbury, and we were just watching them set up the shot. And apparently I look like some kind of casting director because Ron Jeremy, again, comes up to me, and he's like, call me some name. And he was like, man, can you just cut me into one scene, man? I promise I'll make
Why wouldn't you just put him in the movie, Gene? What the fuck?
Yeah, I did.
The Hedgehog.
Starring the Hedgehog. What a creepy guy. This conversation took a turn.
Yes, it did.
So what's going on in the rock and roll world of Loud? I know you sent me a bunch of photos and videos and stuff. And
there's all sorts of crazy, strange, and unprecedented things happening all at the same time. Things aren't going as smoothly as I'd like them to go. That's the music biz. We recently had a personnel change, so we got a new bass player, a guy named Phil Crawford, goes by the West Rocker moniker, but he's out of Bronx, New York. Just a bizarre thing how that worked out, because the guy that was playing with us, we got into this whole mode where everything was going pretty well, and then he broke the, well, I can't really be photographed because I do a lot of government contract job, doesn't want to be photographed. And I'm like, dude, you can't be in rock and roll and not get photographed. Everybody gets photographed. We had to say goodbye to him. We were going to go with a girl bass player. We had someone in mind. She was great. And then disaster happened in her life, and that was it. So I went to, of all places, Band Mix. I'm going through the bass players, and this guy comes up. He's got dreads. That's a plus. Let me send him a message. I look him up on Facebook because I refuse to pay for an account. Send him a messenger message. He calls me and he says, dude, why didn't you look me up like 5 years ago? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, I don't even live in Florida anymore. I'm in New York. Well, hey, sorry about that. I guess this is neat. He's like, no. Tell me about what you're doing. So I told him about the project, and he said, well, send me a couple tracks. So I send him a couple tracks, and then he's like, you've got my attention. And then we started talking a little bit. It turns out his parents live in Vero, which is about 90 minutes north of me. His siblings live in Lauderdale, and his girlfriend owns a house in Boynton. Dude, this is ideal. It can work. So we set up an audition, and the guy got on a plane, flew down, and absolutely did not know any of the songs, and started to play the wrong things. And we went, that's our boy. Or as my other guitar player said, he's got real man hands. He's our guy. He's the guy. So I think he's going to be a really great addition. But he plays with Joey Ramone's brother in New York City. They have a band. Lee? Yeah, Mickey Lee's Mutated.
Mickey Lee, yeah.
So he's playing with him, and he's been his bass player for quite a while. And they've got this whole new EP getting ready to come out. So he's doing a lot of promo stuff for that. That's happening. Our Swedish drummer has disappeared. We're lucky to hear from him every 3 weeks, if possible. I got a 30-second phone call last week. Of course, I was at work when I got the 30-second phone call. So it was like not having the phone call. That's kind of our little teenage drama going on. But under the same token, the album's coming along great. It sounds awesome. I can't wait to finish it. I can't wait. So we're about maybe 3 songs out now.
So in 2021, you can actually have a band where people are all scattered everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true. And I don't want it to, ideally, like any other band, you'd like to be able to get into a room with each other and just start to play so you can feel it out and figure out just what the hell you're going to do when you're presenting yourself live. So, of course, we'd love to do that. But right now, I think everybody's schedules with the whole COVID thing, it's hard to do it.
So you can physically make an album remotely without having somebody in the room with you. Whereas
Absolutely.
it used to be 25 years ago, you couldn't even start to do anything like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There is a Crazy Agnes album that's sitting here too. And I have to say equally, it's pretty heavy. It's psychotic. It's got some psychotic song titles. It's got everything you would expect from us. And
We had a lot of people after we ran your episode before. We had a lot of people ask about Crazy Agnes, and unfortunately, it's hard to find. You guys don't have stuff readily available on the usual places. If you have any stuff that people can check out, let me know.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff, because of various reasons, is not available to the general public. But I'm trying to fix that.
But when the new record is done, then people will be able to access that. And
yeah, believe me, I get emails all the time about it. And in fact, a band that was local here called Troublemaker that used to open a lot of our shows, they've got this whole Facebook page going on, and the girl that's the admin, she has been for months now going, when are you going to do a Crazy Agnes page? My answer is always the same. I don't know. Would be interested.
Wasn't Troublemaker like the little brothers of a bunch of the Crazy Agnes guys?
Yeah, that was Mike, our drummer's brother, Dave's band. And it was him and a guy named Clint Tankersley and a couple other guys, Dave Hartley, those guys. And,
I knew those guys. The weird irony was we played with them back when, these guys were coming out of high school. We used to have our opening tune. It was called We Are the Roids. And those guys did a cover of that. It was like a heavy metal cover of that. And I would give anything to get that fucking song on tape. That would be.
Well, they were notorious for taping everything.
Right.
So I would not be surprised if they have it somewhere, and I will gladly ask Dave when I send him a message soon.
Oh shit! If they have that recorded and it's available, that would be something. I would definitely.
I'll find out for you.
You remember the Bennetts, right?
Yeah.
Up on the trail, they used to do shows in the backyard.
Yeah.
We played a show with, I believe, Troublemaker was playing, and we thought it was going to be like any other, house party backyard show, but those guys they built like a 17-layer stage out on the tennis courts out there, and this thing
that was our fault.
Okay, so you were involved with
well, yeah, it involved us and some theft. Look, I had a crazy road crew who would do anything, but you had to be very careful with what you said, because they would really take it to heart. So if I said in passing, it would be great if we could have a 40-foot wide stage made of nothing but that 8-foot scaffolding. If only we could get our hands on some. The next day, mysteriously, there would be scaffolding. Hey, where'd this come from? Don't ask those questions. Just go with it. Or
that's crazy.
I don't know if you remember, Gino, the infamous gig that we did out on Okeechobee at the FOP Lodge.
I was there. Yep.
You might remember there was a giant lighted arrow that pointed you into getting in there. That happened because I said on the way out to set up, boy, if we only had an arrow like that lighted one right there, we could just point everyone in and they would know where to go. And the next thing I knew, we're on our way to the gig. I'm like, hey, isn't that arrow that was pointing people away from that dangerous area? They had gone up, moved it, little things like that.
Well, what's weird is prior to setting up tonight, I was just kind of gathering my thoughts about doing this show. And then I remembered that show on Okeechobee out there. And I remember getting steered into like a driveway and they were directing people where to park. And you were out there doing something, walking around with a guitar prior to the thing. I don't remember much about that otherwise, but I do remember that.
That I will tell you this, that was probably one of the most well orchestrated illegal shows ever done. We should have been arrested. In fact, the sheriff commanding officer, whoever he was, actually came out and said, I need to take you boys to jail, but I can't prove anything. And that's because we literally sat. What kind of 18 to 23-year-old kids sit down and go, all right, here's our roadmap, and this is how the show is going to go. Nobody does that. You guys go, hey, we're playing a gig. Let's go do it. Yeah. But we're sitting there going, let's see. We need girls to take the money. Why do we need girls? because girls can shove money down their panties and in their bras, and if a cop comes, they can't frisk them. And let's get the drummer's mom to show up every 30 minutes to pick up the money from the girls and take it out, because no one's going to ever stop her.
There you go.
She just looks like a resident. That was great. It was classic.
Yeah, those shows, we made a fortune at some of even at the Bennett things.
Oh.
You would advertise a little outdoor thing, and then shit, man, you roll in like $1,000. It's weird that you tell me that that crazy multi-stage scaffolding deal was something that you guys had something to do, because I remember very specifically showing up and then going, "What the fuck is this?" And it was like, I think it was like New Year's Eve, maybe. A big storm was coming in, and we weren't even sure if we were going to play. We get out there, and there's like maybe 20 people, but there's this massive stage, and we had to set up on that. And I remember thinking, man, this is going to be probably going to be the biggest damn stage we ever play on. And it definitely was one of the most insane deals. I don't know if anybody has any photos of that, but it was.
That stage was originally constructed in my grandmother's backyard. They went and got the scaffolding in a big truck. To this day, I don't know where it came from. Various construction sites, I would imagine, because Donis, who's no longer with us, he made it a big point of trying to make sure that all of the scaffolding had to match. In fact, the Red Hot Chili Peppers borrowed part of that stage to play at Respectable Street.
And I remember that show was the same evening that Metallica was going down to West Palm Beach Auditorium. That was a rock and roll weekend.
Didn't go to either show.
Yeah, I went to Metallica and they were terrible. It was like notoriously one of the worst shows they ever played. But I couldn't get into Respectables. It was just too packed that night later on.
Yeah, that place was always notoriously packed, but a fun place for a good while. I haven't been in there in years. I think it's still around.
Yeah, it's still around. And it's one of those places that, like Churchill's, hopefully lasts forever.
Yeah.
You can go away for 30 years and come back and it's still there.
Live music is extremely important.
It is.
A big weekend here just this past weekend, Gene. Did you see the Super Suckers were here and the Queers were here on the same night?
I saw that. And
they were vaccine only. You had to be vaxxed and show your card to get in.
They also did what's the big outdoor festival? Muddy Roots.
There it is.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping it was actually called the Sweaty Pig.
I just renamed it the Sweaty Pig.
Because I was going to say,
we're going to do our own festival, the Sweaty Pig. And that's going to rival Muddy Roots.
But they canceled Bonnaroo this year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to do Bonnaroo one year. We got an offer for Crazy Agnes to do it, and
really?
then at the last minute it got pulled, and it was kind of a bummer. I was really looking forward to trying to do it because I thought, wow, this is really cool. You know, we're nobody and we're gonna go play Bonnaroo. Let's go.
I got stuck in Bonnaroo traffic a couple different times over the years. It's like fucking Woodstock. It's nuts out there.
Yeah,
so,
and
I've never been. 25 years I haven't done a big outdoor show like that. So you got to have some extra energy.
Fun. You got to do one, man.
Yeah, I'm about the dark, dank nighttime clubs, man. I can't do that outdoor daytime shit.
Go do a dark, dank outdoor show. Why not?
We're doing the Sweaty Pig, man. That's our first show.
The Sweaty Pig Festival.
I'm liking this idea.
It's going to be the Creeping Crudds and Crazy Agnes.
Hey, I'd gladly do it. I would think that'd be the most fun thing ever. and we could get really creative and get some local barbecue guy to actually roast some pigs on stage.
Fuck yeah,
so we
man.
can sling the meat out into the audience while we're playing, complete with baked beans,
Hell yeah, man. The Sweaty Pig.
Why not? Design a logo tomorrow. I feel a shirt coming.
we may have a flyer for this episode. Who knows?
There you go. I could just see it.
Isn't it what they used to call Ron Jeremy?
Oh,
the Sweaty Pig, the Sweaty Hedgehog,
Sweaty Hog, Sweaty Hedgehog.
Yeah, I remember he did a flick with a girl that I knew that became kind of one of those famous porn stars from that time. And I used to hang out with her and her husband quite a bit. I was really stunned. I had no idea. I had none that she was doing that kind of stuff. And she would, they'd be here in West Palm. Come out to LA. And I'd be like, yeah, one of these days I'll come out to LA. Never did. Next thing you know, it's like a couple guys are like, yeah, man, Jerry's in Playboy. I'm freaking talking about. Terry's not in Playboy. Yes, she's the centerfold, dude. Whoosh. What? Holy smokes. And then a few years down the road, it was like, yeah, Terry did a flick with Ron Jeremy. What? Seriously?
That's crazy. I don't know if I would tell anybody about the Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, but she became pretty famous. She was even on Married with Children. Terry,
And what
Terry
was her
Weigel.
name?
Terry Weigel.
Terry Weigel. Okay, I remember Terry
Yeah, I
Weigel.
know Terry.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, everybody,
I remember
everybody
her
remembers Terry.
around West Palm too. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another girl there, Jennifer Worthington. Do you remember her? She was also in that mix.
Yes.
Terry
I
was a
remember.
screamer.
Those
Wow.
girls got mixed up with Tease Lounge and a lot of stuff.
Oh my god.
Jimmy's looking at a picture.
Lounge.
Well,
It's
Tease
not-
Lounge, our movie crowd will recall the movie Creep that we've showed a couple times, where
Yes.
it's filmed in Tease Lounge. And what's her name? What's that hooker's name, Vinny?
Right, so
What was
you-
the hooker in Fort
What are you in the
Lauderdale?
background?
No, that's
Hey,
Terry
there's Terry.
Weigel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of stories about Terry.
But what
None
was
of
the
which-
prostitute that was hooking with the city council people in Lauderdale?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. What was
I
her
can't
name?
think of her name. She's hideous. I mean, her boobs are bigger than watermelons. I can't remember.
Oh, what was her name? Oh,
Jimmy's
shit.
looking it up.
It'll come back.
Yeah, just look up the movie Creep by Tim Ritter, and her name will pop up.
There she is on Married with Children.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
no,
Terry.
I remember her.
Oh, wow.
Terry was dating
You can't look at this.
Terry was dating this guy named Merle Maglio, and Merle was in a local band called Virgin, of all things. Great band. Absolutely, still to this day, don't know why they didn't make it. But he also played in another band called Travis Moon Band, which was very.
I remember that. Yeah, Travis.
And
Moon.
so they were dating. They ultimately got married. We went to see Intruder. Intruder was playing at the +2, I think
Right.
it was. And I called Merle and I said, "Hey man, gonna go over and check these guys out. They're good friends. You ought to come over. Maybe you and Terry will come over." He's like, "Oh, okay." We all go over. Terry comes in. I'll never forget it. She's wearing this leopard print dress, and she comes in with Merle, and we're sitting there, and the manager there, guy, his name is Jimmy. I don't remember his last name. Total jerk.
They all are, aren't they?
But Jimmy takes one look at Terry, and he's like, trying to put the moves on her, and he's like going through everything he can. Let me buy you a free drink, And Merle's like playing this whole thing off because he's just sitting there. Meanwhile, Intruder's kicking ass, of course. And Merle comes over and he says, "Hey man, look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm really tired. I want to go home, but Terry wants to stay out. Look, here's some money. Take her wherever she wants to go. I don't care. Wherever she wants to go, just take her, pay for it, and I'll see you later." I'm like, okay. Went and
Starting
hung
to
out
sound
with-
like a Pulp Fiction story.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I went and hung out with Terry and her friends. She had a bunch of friends, and they were all very, very,
There's
very
one of
nice
them.
girls. There he is.
I think that was Ben Affleck in the back.
That was they were cool people, and unfortunately Merle passed away a few years ago. I haven't heard from her again, but he committed suicide. So.
Oh, that sucks. Well, I remember Terry in West Palm. I always wonder what the connection was with her and, making it big on that scene and why she would be in Palm Beach County. I guess
Well,
everybody's
she
got to come from someplace, but
She originally went out to LA to be in a soap opera.
Really?
That was the plan. There was a soap opera on NBC called Santa Barbara, and she actually got a part on the show. Packed everything and moved out there. The part fell through. She couldn't get any work, and then Married with Children came up, and then work. So then Playboy came up, and things started to make that twist. So
Vinny will know this. What's the name of that movie? It's like a cheerleading horror movie with Leif Garrett.
Is that the one when he was a kid?
No, he's probably 25 or so.
That one I don't know. I know the one when he was a kid. Yeah.
Vinny.
It's like a sleepaway camp with cheerleaders. Terry Weigel's in that. I remember that specifically because that was kind of like, oh, here's a crazy horror movie with Terry Weigel in it. You don't know that movie then?
Is that cheerleading camp? I mean, there was one called cheerleading camp.
Well, Jimmy's got it under control here. I think we're going to see it in a second. The countdown is on. It might be called Cheerleader Camp. Just look up Leif Garrett Cheerleader.
cheerleaders from
Terry
hell.
Weigel's film career. It's called Cheerleader Camp.
Cheerleader Camp. You get a picture of her in Cheerleader Camp.
Cheerleader Camp. I'll in with that one. Would you like to see the movie poster? Of course.
Yes, please.
Is there a movie poster?
Cheerleader Camp.
Yeah, I
There
know
it
that.
is.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Not the movie, but
All righty then.
Okay, and there's got to be a picture of Terry Weigel and Leif Garrett.
All right.
Is that before or after Leif Garrett almost killed that guy?
It was at the very end of his like he's somebody career. I know that.
Right.
And then he got crazy, kind of like Danny Bonaducci.
I was really enjoying his mayhem for a while, and then he just like
He needs a comeback.
he does.
We
He just
watched
started
that
out
movie
fighting
with
with
him
someone.
and the other night with him and his little sister and his mom with Leif Garrett, and he was like 10 years old.
Was that Devil Times 5?
Yeah,
That's the one I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and his mom's in his real life mom is in that, and she's like partying, getting naked, and doing the whole nine. And he and his little sister. Yep, there it is. And there's Terry in the middle.
Oh my
And
god.
Leif's already losing his hair there, so it was
Yeah.
coming to an end.
What's going
And
on
they made
now?
him wear a polo sweater.
Is that an alien or something? What's this?
It may be.
Oh, the
Okay.
damn thing.
He was like the comic relief in that movie with like a chubby dude. I remember that. It had to have been pretty embarrassing. For me. I propose we bring Leif Garrett back. We do a music video and insist that he's in it.
I say get him as a guest.
Definitely. Oh, that would be something else. That's Vinny's charge. You got to get Leif Garrett, man.
Oh, okay. Great.
We'll make Jimmy do it. Jimmy could get somebody finally. So.
Ask him the hard questions.
What happened to your hair, dude?
Dude, what happened?
You were on chips like 13 times, man. What happened?
Were you really made for dancing?
Oh man. I'm scared of that dude. He'd probably come to your house and try to kill you. You remember doing this last time, right?
Yes, and it was hysterical.
We have a movie quote quiz and a music lyric quiz, and then we have some other things that I'm sure you're familiar with as well.
Okay.
And I'll remind you how this works. We start off with the music quiz. It's
Oh, you know I'm gonna fail that. So
I don't know. We try to tune it in towards what we think the guest might be into. How this works is I will read a couple lines from a song. All you need to do is tell us the next line, the name of the song and the band.
Okay.
And you remember that both these guys, Handsome Jimmy and Vinny, the chameleon, can be your lifeline. If you're not sure, you can reach out to them and they can help you out with it.
okay, sounds like a plan. I'll give it my best shot.
Jimmy's gone full cartoon on us.
I can see that. Was very exceptional in his freezing.
Yeah, no, he's got the Zoom stuff filters figured out now.
I think you got something really big there, buddy.
He's got the cutting edge stuff. All right, so we'll start off with the music stuff. I'll read a couple lines from a song. Tell me the following line, name of the band, and the name of the song. Does that all make sense? Does it ring a bell?
Okay.
All right, so let's start with that. The first one is, you don't need to wait for an invitation. You got to live like you're on vacation. There's something sweet you can't buy with money. What's the next line?
Lick It Up from the same titled album by Kiss.
Awesome. One for one, just like that.
Thank you very much. My Kiss
You
fan.
see, these things aren't that difficult.
Oh, last time I didn't do too well.
I think you did okay before, didn't he, Jimmy?
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he nailed all 6 of them, but
Yeah, maybe you missed one. I don't know. Sometimes there's a difficult one. You make one, and then people are like, I've never heard of that song before.
Right.
We had that happen last week. So, but I don't think we have anything that's crazy over the top here. Let's go to the next one. The line is, well, I got one chance left in a 9 lives cat. I got a dog eat dog smile. I got a Molotov cocktail with a match to go.
Oh, shoot.
Well, I got one chance left in a 9
And I
lives
used to play
cat.
the song. That's the worst part. Oh, I know it's Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
Night Train. Night Train.
Do you know the line?
I don't know the line.
I got a Molotov cocktail with a match to go.
get it on tonight. What does he say there? Fuck, I can't remember either.
I don't know the line.
We'll give it to you anyway, but the line is, and I smoke my cigarette with style.
Oh, shoot. Okay. And he probably does.
Yeah, so you got it. I mean, if you get close enough, we'll give you that. We make the rules here. Nobody else.
Hey,
Yeah.
well, thank you for that extra support there.
I think you'll get this one too. And if you don't know it, you can reach out to Jimmy or Vinny, and they won't
Okay.
know it either. Okay. Well, I was moving down the road in my V8 Ford. I had a shine on my boots. I had my sideburns lower. With my New York brim and my gold tooth displayed, nobody gives me trouble because they know I got it made.
I need a lifeline.
Let me read it
Nancy,
again.
Jimmy, help me out.
Well, I was moving down the road in my V8 Ford. I had a shine on my boots and my sideburns lowered. With my New York brim and my gold tooth display, nobody gives me trouble because they know I got it made. Looks like Jimmy's got it.
No, Jimmy, the don't got shit.
I'm kidding. Anybody
Was
know?
there a hint? There a hint or something?
Oh, you're Vinny's stealing Jimmy's gig.
Yeah,
Turn the light off. This band lost a band member recently.
Oh crap! Is it the Everly Brothers?
Is it the Stones?
It is not the Stones. Both of those are I didn't even consider. But
Saying ZZ Top, but
let me read the line one more time, then you
I
can.
thought about that.
Well, I was moving down the road in my V8 Ford. I had a shine on my boots. I had my sideburns low, and with my New York brim and my gold tooth display, nobody give me trouble because they know I got it made.
It might be.
Dinner.
Because I'm bad. I'm nationwide. ZZ Top.
Oh, we got that one.
I never got to see them.
Really? They played West Palm Beach a bunch, or
I
South
know.
Florida a bunch.
I never got to see them. Yeah, I watched the documentary on them too. They seemed
pretty
like they
awesome.
were really cool.
Yeah, when they showed him on that documentary, was at his house here. Just like, all right, so you got 2 of 3, which is by no means terrible.
I got lucky.
The other half of this are movie quotes.
Yep,
Jimmy's
really
pretty
bad.
worthless in movie quotes, but Vinny is pretty experienced with those. So you might
Okay.
have, that's your hint as to who to go to if you don't know these.
All right, Vinny.
So I will read a quote from a movie. Just tell me the name of the movie and who you think said it.
Okay.
All right. The first one is, I'd sure feel much worse if I weren't under such heavy sedation.
Oh shoot! Oh man! Oh!
Well, I'd feel so much worse if I weren't under such heavy sedation with the British accent.
It's Derek St. Hubbins from Spinal Tap.
It is David St. Hubbins from Spinal
David.
Tap. You got it.
Spinal
Awesome.
Tap.
Yeah, and that struck a chord with you immediately. So
It's a classic movie.
yes.
definitely. I didn't want to go with the obvious. This goes to 11 or anything. Everybody knows those. You got to make
Dude,
it.
we're not gonna fucking do Stonehenge.
All right, so now you've done 3 or 4, and you're back in the pretty good batting average. Got 2 more of these left.
Okay.
The next one, if you don't know it, you can reach out to one of these guys. The quote is, it started as rioting, but right from the beginning, you knew it was different because it was happening in small villages, market towns, and then it wasn't on TV anymore. It was in the street outside. I can't believe Vinny's walking away from this. Let me read it again. It started as rioting, but right from the beginning, you knew this was different because it was happening in small villages, market towns, and then it wasn't on TV anymore. It was in the street outside.
Okay, Vinny, I need a lifeline. This was definitely not.
There it is. He got it for you. Who says it?
It's
What's the actor? Anything.
Selena.
Selena, yeah.
So what was that? 28
28 days later.
Okay, I've never
Saw
seen
that
it.
3 times in the theater.
Yeah, that's a good flick. We need to show that at some point. We get a hold of that. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. Loud.
I just saw Blackenstein recently.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That was kind of a very odd movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not anywhere near as good as Blackula or either Blackula movie. but
Well, you know, I mean, what can you say?
Here he goes. He's got it. All right, so you got 4 or 5 down to the last one.
Okay.
This is a maybe. I don't know if you guys will know this or not, but it's a quote that strikes you when you see the movie. And the quote is, I have your disease in me now. This is a dark movie with a slight dark comedy edge from the mid-late 80s. I have your disease in me now.
Okay, I will refer to you guys. It's not
You got
striking.
lifelines there.
Come on, Benny. One of you guys knows.
High anxiety.
High anxiety. That was the 70s.
It's all a blur to me.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. This one, there was a famous scene involving Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Okay, you lost me there.
I mean, come on, guys. It's the only movie that has a famous scene involving Pabst Blue Ribbon and Heineken.
It's not Near Dark, is it?
No, I'm disappointed in you guys, man. This was Dorothy Vallon, played by Isabella Rossellini in Blue Velvet. So
Didn't see it.
4 of 6, 2 of 3.
Well, the Kiss one was a real big helper, so.
I can't believe Vinny didn't know the Blue Velvet one, man.
I knew a lot of the other lines, you know.
They always said, oh, I knew the other. If you'd asked the other thing, I would have got that.
Fuck anything that moves. Yeah.
If you'd asked something I knew, then I would have gotten it.
Baby wants to fuck. That's a good line.
Now, if I would have said Daddy wants to fuck, that would have been horrible saying that.
Reminds me of my priest.
Oh, man, this is going down tubes. What we do is I'll ask you some word types and we'll use it in a story and then we'll send it to Jimmy and he'll read it back.
Okay.
Colorful.
I'm ready.
All right. I need an adjective.
Dark.
A number, any number.
50.
Good number. I shouldn't start
Reading
reading.
ahead.
Yeah, I need another number.
7.
Another adjective.
Shiny.
A third adjective.
Heavy.
I need another number.
14.
A color.
Purple.
Another number.
3.
An adjective.
Burnt.
Plural noun.
Branches.
A country. Any country.
Let's go with England.
A place. Any place.
Let's go with Miami.
I need another place.
Hollywood.
An illicit substance.
Acid.
Something to drink.
Heineken.
Heineken, fuck that shit. Pat Blue Ribbon.
I knew you were going to do that. I
That's
knew
Blue
it the
Velvet.
moment I said it.
A name of somebody that was in one of your bands.
Let's go with John B. Rude.
A celebrity.
Gene Simmons. I can already tell this is going to be horrible.
It's already, I'm going to start fucking laughing if I don't move on here. A modern pop outfit, a band, like a modern pop band.
Oh, what are those weird guys? BTS or
BTS.
something? I hear the kids talk about them. I have no idea what they even look like.
That's what they all say. A health food, something healthy.
Hummus?
Hummus. Something gross.
Something
Hummus.
gross.
Hummus, yeah.
Hummus. Yeah. Vomit.
I'm really
Vomit.
having a hard time not fucking cracking up.
Stop reading, and my mom better not be in this fucking story.
A color.
Oh, the color?
A color. Any color.
Let's go with yellow.
A pointy guitar.
Flying V.
I need a color and then another color.
Black. Let's go with the obligatory
A
red.
type of fruit, plural.
Grapes.
All right, I'm not going to read it.
I already took
A rock star.
Another rock star?
Yeah, I'll get a few things like this going.
Ted Nugent.
Another former member of one of your bands.
Jack Hammer.
I assume that was the drummer, right?
Yeah.
A famous drummer.
Famous drummer. Peter Criss. Why not?
A character from a movie.
Okay, let's go with Jabba the Hutt.
I need another color. There's a lot of colors in this.
How about bronze?
An animal.
Lion.
A sex toy.
Well, let's go with the vibrator.
2 songs back to back.
2 songs back to back. Okay, Highway to Hell. How about The Song Remains the Same?
Need a band. We're getting down towards the end of this here.
Motley Crue.
Put the umlaut in there because I won't know what it is when I'm reading it unless it's in there.
It's Motley Crew, CRUE. A body part.
A body part. Nose.
Those words. A noun.
Tree.
A color. There's so many colors. I don't remember writing this many colors.
Let's go with orange.
A large number.
1,000.
A bodily function past tense.
Let's go with P.
Peed. An animal with a cloven hoof.
Sloth.
Sloth it is. How about this? Another color.
Another color, huh? How about green?
Green it is. A number.
10.
A type of drink.
Whiskey sour.
And finally, a great person. Someone who's great. Jimmy's pointing at himself there.
Oh, no, there's somebody off camera.
Let's just go with Oprah.
Either Oprah or Paul Stanley. I mean, you got to pick one. There's only 2 great people left.
I don't
One and
know.
the same.
All right,
Never
we're
seen
done.
them
Now I'm
together.
going to send this off to Jimmy, and he can read it.
This was entitled "Welcome to Gino's Crayola Box."
Yeah, right? What's the color?
It's called like 17 different colors.
How are you sending this? By courier?
Yes.
Oh,
We'll be there tomorrow.
I have so many things open on my computer.
Email. I sent it by email.
Where's my mailbox?
I even made a sound too about that.
Whoosh. A
Why
whoosh.
do I get the
Did
feeling
it show up? Do you have it?
one of the shows that probably should not be watched by mere mortals?
We license this story to you so you can turn it into your movie.
Font is killing me.
Oh, change it.
The glasses.
You have the capability to change the colors and the fonts, Jimmy.
Loud travels back in time. One evening, after a dark band rehearsal, Loud was walking home. He had 50 guitars on his back, and he was upset that he had broken 7 strings that night. The drummer was having trouble keeping time with his shiny drums. They sounded very heavy, and Loud did not find this acceptable. Loud was sad, and he was pining for the old days, back when his bandmate's hair was typically 14 feet tall, and he would have his choice of 3 blondes, brunettes, and purple heads on any given evening. Loud's old band, the Burnt Branches, were the top outfit in all of England, and they filled arenas from Miami to Hollywood, and the band's green room was always filled with party favors. There would be mountains of acid, gallons of Heineken, stacks of dirty books with naked photos of Gene Simmons. A long line, and always a long line of stanky females, and one full-sized gal for John B. Rude. These days on tour with BTS, the band was only provided hummus and unlimited amounts of vomit. The Loud approached his house with a strange cloud hovered over him and struck him with a bolt of yellow lightning, and he was sucked into a swirling vortex, eerily transported back to 1987. There he stood on a large stage surrounded by smoke, strapped with his flying V, outfitted in striped black and red spandex, with what appeared to be 3 large grapes shoved down the front of his pants. We would have you know that this was 100% Loud All Natural. Peter Criss, Jabba the Hutt, and a young, sexy Jimmy's mom. In bronze vinyl pants with a purse made of lion leather, overflowing with vibrators. More than one vibrator. Loud was home, and he wasted no time getting on with the rocking. The band went straight into hard-rocking versions of Highway to Hell, The Song Remains the Same, and a 20-minute medley of songs by Motley Crue. The crowd went nuts. Topless girls rode high atop shoulders, shouting, "We want to see your nose! And show us your sexy tree!" The night seemed to go on forever, but the crowd still wanted more. All of a sudden, a large orange puff of smoke appeared on the stage. It was the devil, and he appeared to be looking for a soul to steal. He stood before Loud, aflame and growling. He peed and revealed a great book with 1,000 pages. The music stopped, and there was a chilling silence about the stage. Loud looked at the devil and said, "No, Satan, I will not sign away my soul to you. I just won't do it." The devil looked Loud in the eye. He was silent for a few moments before he snorted like a sloth and replied, "No, man, I'm just a big fan, and I was hoping I could get an autograph for my collection. Keith Moon and Brian Jones are down here, and they'll be jealous as hell. You got to trust me." Loud pondered things for a moment and whipped out a Crazy Agnes greatest hits record, signed it with his big-ass green Sharpie, and handed it over to the devil. The devil was so happy he let the band play as long as they wanted. The band rocked for several more hours. They went back to the green room and drank 10 whiskey sours. Everyone got laid, including Jack Hammer, and everyone passed out with their pants half on, except Jimmy's mom, whose pants were long lost. Next morning, Loud woke up at home. Present day, birds were singing, wars had ended, COVID was no more, Oprah was president, Loud's rock and roll had soothed the devil's savage lust, and all was well in the earthly realm. Thank goodness for Loud, and thank God for rock and roll.
That is classic. That is classic.
You saved us, man. You saved us.
Yes, thank you for saving my mom from pants.
I think you might need to read that, record that and read it, and I'm going to put that on the album because that's just too good. That's just too good. I'm sorry. It's just great.
It's your story, man.
I'm serious. I think it's hysterical.
It has to be read by Jimmy, though, the way you just read it. Like,
Yeah, it has to be. It can be no other way.
Reading is fundamental.
It's no small challenge to save the world from the devil.
That's a good one. That was good.
And we appreciate Jimmy's mom, too.
Yeah. You know, she had COVID 2 weeks ago.
I know. How did she do? How did she pull through?
She's fine. She's vaccinated. She's fine. She's 71 years old. Coasted right through it.
Okay, so she's vaccinated. She got COVID. What did she experience?
A slight headache, and then she was a little foggy for like a week after she was done with it.
So
It's
she
kind of
couldn't
coming.
find her pants the whole time.
That's right. No pants and a pocket full of vibrators or whatever. The
A
fuck.
purse full of vibrators.
Crazy Agnes will do that to a lady.
You have anything going on that you want the world to know about?
I have absolutely nothing at present other than what I've already kind of told you. Trying to stay safe, trying to stay healthy so I can be around a little longer to do what I do.
Awesome. And
that's all
save
I
the
can
world
tell
from the
you.
devil, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Time travel.
Is there Jimmy's Credit Cuisine?
Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
was wondering about that. I don't know if Jimmy does those anymore.
I was out of town all week taking that freaking kid to college. It was like, I got something. I got an idea, bro.
All right, well, then pull it together.
This morning, as COVID cases mount across the country, the mass debate is intensifying.
People are very passionate on both sides of the great mass debate.
The partisan mass debate is heating up.
Mass debates growing.
The president is trying to have us cover the mass debate.
CVS, Target, and Walgreens are getting in on the mass debate.
The mass debate now taking center stage at local restaurants.
It's 9 minutes after 6 now, and there's new video of a raging mass debate. The mass debate in Georgia is getting ugly.
The great mass debate in West Virginia might soon be coming to an end.
This mass debate is far from over.
How many mass debates have you gotten into? Love to hear it.
The mass debate was taken to a whole nother level.
Bishop David Zubik tells Pittsburgh's Action News 4 he found himself in the middle of a mass debate.
Do we have a Vinny's Monster Minute this week?
Okay.
Let's go to the clip.
Well, hey folks, it's Vinny from Monster Minute for this edition. I'm not gonna show anything from my collection. Jada and I, and there's Jada all the way over there. We're checking out the new movie, Malignant. 2 weeks ago, I had no idea what this movie was. I didn't even know it existed. So, Creep Ass said it's okay. Alan loves it. So now I'm gonna give my review. I don't think Gino's gonna like it. And that's it. Thank you.
Hi there, everybody. This week's earworm is the song Dirt Track by the band Candy Bar Planet from the Netherlands. It's a great riff, gets stuck in your head, good, solid, sweet rock and roll. I'll post a link in the comments as usual. Cheers.
And is Bo doing something? Or is he just pulled out stakes and moved on?
Oh, I don't know. I gotta text him. I haven't talked to him in a while. Darn it, you sexy motherfuckers! Except Lisa. Thank you all for joining us again. Living Cruddy. I want to thank the lovely and talented Gino Royd, the skinny and sexy Vinny, and of course, for the second time, our guest.
Well, we're glad you decided to come back and visit with us again. I think everybody will appreciate this follow-up episode here. So
Anytime. I enjoy absolutely, Vinny. It was great meeting you here for the first time.
Thank you.
Right here, buddy. Thank you for having me.
yeah,
I
man. Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
coming on.
Anytime. Anytime.